Welcome back, everyone, to our stream here on D&D Beyond. We are about to enter the Descent Arena.
Woo!
What we have for you guys here today is an encounter building challenge. So the way it's going to work is we are going to invite some of the Descent attendees onto our table, and we're going to pitch you against each other, building encounters that a theoretical group of average level 5 adventurers would have some trouble with. And here to judge these encounters that our attendees will create, I have Satine Phoenix, I have Web DM, and I have Trot. Now, we got to see your game here earlier on the table,
yeah.
Trot. We had an awesome high rollers session. How'd that go for you?
It went very well. I was the best player.
The best one. Web DM, how's your weekend been?
It has been phenomenal. I feel like LA is like the Fey realm, and it's just sort of like a magical fairy tale land that
does
I'm
lift our
enjoying
spirits.
to the
Yeah.
fullest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, love it out here.
And Satine, how's your weekend been?
Amazing. I've got the sirens here. We've been singing and prancing and hanging out our idle champions. It's been wonderful.
It is Dream here at the Descent, and we encourage you to join us next time it comes around. But for now, we're bringing you into our encounter building action, and we have our first two competitors. Please introduce yourself to the people. Tell them a little about yourself.
My name is Fenway Jones. I am known as the Teen DM on Twitter, and I started Jasper's Game Day, the nonprofit organization that raises money for suicide prevention and awareness through D&D and streaming.
So young, so accomplished, so proud. Please, sir.
Oh, man. How do I follow that up? I'm just some schlub on Twitter. I'm Kurt Carbonell, at Kurt Carbonell on Twitter. I started writing for DM's Guild, and that's me. I just lucked out.
Welcome,
Hey.
welcome. Now, I told you we're going to have a little competition here. Let's discuss the stakes. There are none. You are looking for the approval of our three judges here. Now, let me read to you the rules of how you will win. We're going to have 3 rounds of participation. We're going to have 3 sets of contestants up here today. We are going to define for each of our sets of contestants certain conditions required to build an encounter for our 5 average level 5 adventurers. You're going to have 10 minutes to build your challenge, 2 minutes to pitch it to us, and our judges here are going to select a winner. So you're going to be graded on 3 key metrics: difficulty, how devilishly tough is the encounter within the challenge rating. Devilish is not a hint there. You don't need demons all the time. Creativity, how much artistic expression is shown. And are the monster choices coherent? Would those monsters hang out together? And if not, do you have a compelling story for why they are today? And fun. How enjoyable it would be to play against this encounter. So that's going to be a factor as well. Some of these competing factors. It's all up to you guys how this is played out. And judges, it's going to be all up to you to ask the questions you want, to discuss as they build their encounter, and, to ultimately crown the champion and send home the loser.
So much
right.
power.
Yeah.
So much
I
responsibility.
accept.
Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
accept this
Just-
responsibility?
It seems
We'll take
like
that.
it's a no.
Let's do it.
Fantastic. Contestants, do you accept the rules?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see if we can get our first competition on the board. No, it's not yet. Don't talk. The challenge is our adventurers have stumbled into a den of an evil baron who keeps a menagerie of vicious, small creatures. You must make a hard encounter, not deadly, hard, using nothing but tiny-sized creatures.
A favorite.
Yes.
A favorite of ours already.
Tiny creatures?
Yeah.
Oh, the judges are going to be harsh, so choose wisely. All right, do we
We
get a
know our
countdown?
tiny creatures. We know them very well.
Web DM, why don't you give me a countdown from 5, and
All
we'll
right.
start these guys off.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And they're off. Look at them going. Tapping really fast. Thinking really hard.
I mean, I would say
You
for
can keep
me,
that up the whole 10 minutes.
the biggest thing would be that they don't have a mouse. They got to use the mouse pad. That's going to be a big one.
Instant disadvantage.
I think that's an advantage. So, you know,
Okay.
if you use a mouse, you get carpal tunnel.
Okay. All
So
right.
I actually never use a mouse. I haven't used a mouse since 1998.
You
that
haven't
is
at all.
impressive.
Yeah, I use a Wacom.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I am
Secret.
like
It's a benefit for them.
I'm
Yeah,
like
I
a
think it's a boon.
3-year-old when it comes to a touchpad. I just don't. I can't.
Yeah,
I
work
need
on
an
your hand-eye
adult.
coordination.
Now, the encounter build is really important,
so
right?
many
But
of
I
them.
do want to comment on how incredible that costume is.
For
right
one,
now.
right? Really
It's
bring an A game.
Yeah.
loving the
costume.
braces.
Yeah.
It's all working for him. The neckerchief.
Yes.
It's just.
Yes.
So there might be some bias, is what I'm saying. Just on the
Whoa.
costume. I mean,
Fashion bias.
I just like the fashion.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she has
going on
branding.
there.
And I
branding.
really
I
support
respect
branding.
the branding.
I
respect
do like the
branding.
font on that. That's nice.
I
And
may
the charity
have,
as well. It's a great
I
cause.
may have met the person
Focus, both of you.
who
Focus on
has
the encounter.
designed that logo.
I'm trying.
Wow.
Listen,
She
on.
may be sitting in front of you right now.
I mean, goodness. you
Was
know.
there any under the table,
No.
deals made for
Absolutely
this?
not.
Some soul coins, perhaps.
soul
right?
Maybe
coins,
some
certainly.
soul
I could have gotten soul coins. I feel like some of these contestants were not using on their A game.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
They should have been more
More bribes.
more bribes.
More bribes.
We're in hell.
Come
I mean,
on.
come
Get in the
on.
spirit.
You're
Maybe
right.
that's
You're
our
right.
complaint. Let's
I also like presents
For one.
and money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Who
else
doesn't?
you guys mentioned liking. All of you seem very excited that these were tiny creatures.
Yes.
I does.
Yes.
I do.
Tell me why.
Because tiny things are cute. You ever seen those hamsters that eat tiny burritos?
Oh, with the tiny
And napkins. And they have all that. And they have little tiny tables with little tablecloths.
I'm honestly.
That's what they served Matt for dinner last night, right?
Really?
Just a little tiny burrito. He's really getting into his character.
Hope
Yeah.
you're not full of
Yeah.
tiny creature meat in this tiny burrito.
It was a beyond descent burrito.
There you go.
It was an impossible burrito.
There you
okay.
go.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Yeah, because you don't eat the meat in hell.
Yeah, don't eat.
I wouldn't either.
No.
Possibly.
Yeah, Persephone taught
No.
us a lot about what
No,
not to
certainly
eat
not.
in
Good.
hell.
Good.
And it's anything.
I mean, imagine, even if it's like a delicious birthday cake that has lots of frosting, like 5 pounds of frosting, and maybe there's a lemon tart part of it and like a strawberry
things.
part,
Uh-huh.
and maybe like a little black forest part.
Just a
It
little
would
puff.
taste like not that. That's hell.
It would take that.
Well, you're making my
Terrible.
mind whirl with possibilities right now because
Yeah.
imagine a huge birthday cake with the candles and the drizzling lemon on
Oh,
the
yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
And out pops at least 4 or 5 rabbits, vicious rabbits, willing to attack. Now that could be an encounter.
That could easily be encountered, right? Yeah.
Y'all better
No,
not be
they
listening
can't-
and working on that
Those things,
encounter.
those things.
If
So
you
it's
take
like
that
if you-
from me,
Well, they used to put
Unless they were
birds in pies, right?
Dwarf.
Yeah.
They were dwarf bunnies.
dwarf bunnies.
Rabid dwarf
Smaller
bunnies.
than regular
Smaller
bunnies?
dwarf
And
bunnies.
rabid?
Rabid,
What are
yeah.
phony then?
This is the problem with tiny creatures. You're lulled into a false sense of
Yeah.
security. You
Right.
think that's really
Yeah.
cute, and then
You can't-
suddenly it's tearing your face off.
Yeah, and who knows what kind of magic powers they have, or if it's poison.
could be a wizard bunny.
Could be anything kind of.
Could
like
be a
that.
wizard bunny.
A
Yeah.
wizard bunny.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
It's another idea that you can't take. That's
Yeah,
that's
They're
the
not
I
worst.
feel like bunnies are off the table. Bunnies are off the table
Bunnies easily off the table.
because we've been saying that. We said them 3 times.
Right.
That's true.
And that puts Al
For 3.
Mirages off the table as well, right? Because you think?
Is that a unicorn or is it a bunny? Like
I don't know. I think it's confused. Is what. It is.
they're really cute though.
I like them. I like
yeah,
them
but
very
they're not
cute.
evil.
Well, we're looking for a very hard encounter. Have you guys in your games ever encountered a mass of tiny creatures? How did you
Yeah.
overcome them?
No, I put them in my game. It was like a Halloween special, and I had these little rats, and their heads were pumpkins.
Nice.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really cute. And they ran in mass onto one of the ships in Waterdeep. And they ran around, and so all the sirens were trying to kill them, but it turns out they were part of the act.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and then
adorable.
they felt really bad. And that's where I won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. When the
when
guilt.
you make your players feel bad, that's a real.
Absolutely.
The
guilt.
Yeah, you did well there.
real.
I was
Thank
a
you, thank
DM for Curse of Strahd,
Oh yeah.
and there were twig blights.
Ooh.
And my players were devious.
Yeah.
They killed Strahd with twig blights.
Nice.
They put them in a bag of holding, so they just gathered all the twig blights up, put them in a bag, sealed it up, and I forgot about it. Like 5 or 6 sessions later, boom, twig blights.
Bravo.
And that was the finish.
Just overwhelmed him with the action economy.
Yeah, yeah. He couldn't do anything about it. It just like
Oh my god.
tore him apart.
What a great cause.
I think I've used probably like a horde of tiny demons, like gremlin-sized demons.
like the
'Cause-
movie?
Yeah, yeah. So like at some point you're like, I don't know, deal with 1,000 of them. Just like you guys
not
are
gonna roll
at
for
that
it.
point- Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
duck-sized
like
horses,
15th
just
level
go.
or something.
Yeah.
Just to see what they do.
I do. Yeah, I didn't realize until right now how much I love tiny things.
I love tiny things. It's why it's miniatures, terrain, Lego, all kinds of tiny things are great. Tiny
You could build them
cakes.
tiny little Lego stables.
Yep.
Like a little.
Yeah.
I like to create small Lego cities and pretend to be a really big person.
That's my favorite thing about Legos
Yeah.
too, is you could just pretend you're a giant
No,
person.
because that would suck because you would step on it and then you're like, I'm a giant person stepping
things
on this
are
town.
Yeah.
And then you're like, ow, Legos
Yeah.
Yes,
Perfect.
on my
Exactly.
feet.
Yes.
Lego feet.
Lego
Because it hurts when you step on
It would
Legos.
hurt you.
That's why you need big stomping boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
One
like
of my-
where you're going with
One of my
this.
favorite
Like
things too is to
Doc
take.
Mines. Doc Mines stomp on all of it.
And just for our players,
Oh.
you have 4 minutes left.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun,
Wow.
yoing,
Time
yoing.
is ticking away.
Time is absolutely ticking away.
I judge it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Instill the fear in them.
Have you guys ever done like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids type scenario in your RPGs?
No, but I want
where
to
they're
now.
like
Ah,
really
yeah,
super
that's
small?
happening.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. Like imagine a room as if you're like this big, and all the dangers that would be. A house cat is like easily a CR5 monster.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Terrifying.
A spider, enough.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, that's too much danger.
Too much danger.
Too much danger.
Too spooky. Too much
Yeah.
danger.
What if this tiny encounter is actually you going in and they're all tiny creatures, but you're also
A
tiny as well?
reskinned tiny. Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
that would definitely
I
go
feel-
off the charts on creativity. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but now they can't use it because we
can't use
said
that.
We
it.
should
Maybe.
take all the good ideas and
Yeah,
just
we
say
should.
them out loud.
Someone's writing these down, right?
So, as the web DM,
Yeah.
you know you're DMing, you know stuff. So, what tiny
Nice.
creatures even can they use?
I mean, you've got all the beasts, right? But then there's all kinds of weird little constructs and monstrosities. You might scale
Constructs.
something down, you know? Yeah.
Oh, tiny like Modrons.
Yeah, like
Little
tiny
tiny
little
clockwork.
something.
Yeah. And you have to
I
wind
like
them up
them.
like this.
They're very cute.
But maybe you do some sort of fiend or something like that. Yeah, there's some tiny creatures that pack a punch, or maybe you go the opposite route and like everything's a creature and they just all start animating. It's like a Beauty and the Beast situation.
Oh, that's a good idea. All the crockery.
I
All
just
of it.
watched it.
What about the tiniest of pests, bacteria?
See, this
That's
is
for
That's
real
terrifying.
scary.
That's
this is one of
terrifying.
those things where I think there's magic working on all levels of a D&D world, and so like bacteria wizards
Oh,
and
yeah.
the like crafting their spells.
A little
and-
hive
like blood
mind
magic.
with orc demons and a goo.
But like, don't they have a spore thing?
They'll have a
Do they?
spore. I'm sure that's where like
Ugh.
Zugtami and Dweeblix and all those other gross demon princes get all their worshippers from like the scum bacteria.
It's quantity, not quality.
Right, exactly.
Is there a? Can you make like a homebrew class of sorcerer or wizard to be like a Bactomancer? Or
Oh,
Like
I
a
Bacteriamancer?
Yeah,
Diseaseamancer,
certainly a good
yeah.
Diseasemancer, certainly, yeah.
That'd
That'd
be
be
sweet.
That'd be like
That'd be
a
so
sub
gross.
of necromancy,
Yeah.
right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a weird intersection
Grossomancy.
between like druid and necromancy that's
Nastomancy.
We got a lot of these
nasty
words.
mancy.
Call us Candyman. Yeah.
Yes.
We're the next designers for Dungeons
It
and
is.
Dragons.
Minute and a half
It's all
left.
gross out.
Wait, what are we
monsters.
seeing here?
You okay?
Yeah.
What
Well,
are
then work
oh,
harder.
I see
There's some
this.
imps. I've seen
I
some
see
imps.
I see some
Big fan of
imps.
imps.
All right.
Personally,
Yeah.
I love their attire.
Absolutely.
The little
I love a
loincloths
good-
and
I
things
love a
like
good
that.
imp.
Yeah,
Right.
it looks lovely.
There's nothing better than just like giving your players an imp
Yeah.
and just being like, you can have them.
Yeah.
And then
Good luck.
using that as a way to compromise their morals and everything. It's a really good inroad for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So many positives to having an imp.
Yeah,
right?
there's so many positives.
No
to it.
downsides.
No, none at all. None at all. No, closets even. Not even, no downside there either.
Quasit.
Yeah.
What a beautiful word.
It's just a great word. And you know, if
Closet.
you just let it off the chain once a month and let it do whatever it wants, it's perfectly happy to obey you the other 29 days out of the year. So
Sometimes.
It's tiny treats.
Oh,
Tiny
thanks.
Tiny
treats.
treats.
tiny acts of cruelty.
Sometimes I think that they just took a keyboard and went boo bop boo bop boo bop,
Oh, easily.
and then
Yeah.
words happened.
And then words happened, yes. And then you pronounce them incorrectly online, and everybody gets mad at you. So, you know.
It's like, that's not how it was in my head when I read the page.
Right, your imagination's wrong.
Yeah.
20 seconds left, friends.
Well, like George R. R. Martin was talking about the Dothraki, but he pronounced them on this Q&A as Dothrakai.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, I'm so broken right now.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
so-
pronunciation.
That's how Flame
Should we
Wars
also
start.
factor in pronunciation?
Oh
of
yeah,
the
we should be
monsters?
extra judgy
Oh.
about it.
Oh, man.
It's
Yeah.
actually a
And
quasi.
2.
1.
Done.
Lock it in. Hands up.
All
Hands
right.
up. Higher.
Whoa,
Put them up.
okay, all right.
Run to
Do
right.
this.
Just kidding. We're fine. All right. We have our encounters built. I hope.
Yeah.
Is there one of you that would like to go first? Who's feeling most confident here?
Oh.
Show of hands. Show of hands.
Oh.
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
Sure, let's
like
do
this.
it.
Go first.
Oh,
Okay. So my encounter is a single flying snake, a fairy dragon, 3 sprites, 3 pixies, and 6 quicklings.
A flying snake.
Flying snake, yes, because we're in the lair of a baron, yes? So he is keeping an eye on, the flying snake is keeping an eye on his little menagerie and reporting back to the baron on what they're doing and how they're interacting with each other. And because they're all fae, so they all are from the same elements, and that's why they're in the same room. But so the flying snake is put in there, and it's placed in there so that the flying snake can tell the baron what is going on in said room.
Gotcha. So this is like are the fairies like captured, or are they like allied with the house, or like what's the
So-
connection between them and the Baron?
The Baron has the all of the little menageries. So the fairy dragon came to the Baron and brought his little sprite pixies and quicklings with him. So they're all there of their own volition, and so they're not captured, but they're because they prefer. They got kicked out of the Fae because of how they were acting. So they came to the Baron, and the Baron is now housing them.
Gotcha. So he's sort of like the shield for the wild fae.
Yeah.
How do you see it all like interacting? Like if in your mind, how do you see the combat kind of like going out or the encounter playing out?
So I would say the fairy dragon would be up in the front of the room with the more melee people, and the quicklings and the pixies and the sprites would be picking at the magical people and ranged people in the back, so that they would be trying to separate them out, so they're not all in one big group together.
Nice.
I like that placement in the environment for strategy against the players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Any further questions from our judges?
Very important question from me. What color is the fairy dragon?
Fairy dragon is blue a fairy dragon color? Blue. We'll
I'm
make it
going to
blue.
say yes.
Okay, we'll
Because
make it
my
blue.
world would definitely have blue fairy dragons.
Okay, it's a blue fairy dragon.
I have a
That's a
question.
win.
Yes.
All right.
How tall is the room?
The room is 40 feet high, so they have all of the room to fly about.
It's a great advantage.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
It does
All
make
right.
it hard.
Our judges, are we satisfied with the question asking period? Anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, I could talk about the imp's attire, but I think that would just be wasting people's time.
No, fair question. Imp attire. What are they wearing?
There's no imps.
Sorry, not the imps.
There you go.
The pixies.
That was a trick
Pixies.
question.
She's so
I was
smart.
thinking about imps.
I know, just on
The
brain.
pixies are wearing mint green leggings.
Mint
and then
green.
yes, a mint green, and then the same color of a top, but the top is a crop top, and it has white flowers going from the front to the back. And the pixies the sprites are wearing the same thing, but the flowers are on the pants.
Oh, that way you
Sold.
can tell them apart.
I'm trying to be stone-faced here to not give you anything.
Boom.
We have an encounter described, and we have an encounter yet to learn about.
Okay. So this menagerie of the Barons isn't that big, but it's got some pretty dangerous creatures in it. I've got 2 Gazer Familiars, Quasit, 2 Imps, Vargul, and Trenzia. And Trenzia is very similar to the Flying Snake, is kind of like the lieutenant, just trying to keep everybody in their pen. The Vargul and the Imps, they're going to be flying around to harass whoever decides to come in here. The Closet's going to use his invisibility just to wreak havoc. And adding to that chaos, the Gazer Familiars are just going to be going nuts with their rays, just to try to make it their enemies' lives as difficult as possible.
I've got a question about the invisible Quasit causing a disturbance. Are we talking spending actions, pulling down pants, that kind of thing, being a nuisance, or
We are now.
doing damage?
I'm into the pants thing. Yeah,
I think I gave you that.
yeah. Let's go with the pants.
I like the
Leading
nuisance.
question.
So there's a lot of flyers in your group. Is there like any sort of terrain elements do you see like them being able to take advantage of or use to win against the party or challenge the party?
Yeah, so I've got quite a few fiends in here. So I imagine that it would look kind of abyssal, stalagmites, stalactites, shelves of different levels, providing cover, providing opportunities to sneak around. Lots of dark places.
Right. Yeah, I can see a lot of places for like cover, things like that. Then
The Bardoul. Can you explain that to us?
I would love to. It's a grotesque head with wings, and it likes to bite. Because that's pretty much all it's got. Teeth.
what's even that?
I'm learning about it as I'm talking.
I'm concerned about the size of these creatures.
Am I concerned about the size of
I'm
it?
concerned about the size of these creatures.
No,
What size? We said tiny, right?
They're all tiny.
they're
They're all tiny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Even
the
the head?
Bardoul
Can
had
we
its
get
full
a
body,
judgment check? They
need-
are
we
all
need a-
tiny. Thumbs.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
they all say tiny, tiny.
What?
tiny.
How,
If you're
how
all
big is
listed as
tiny?
tiny, then
How big is tiny really? Is it like this?
I feel it's like
Or
house
is
cat
it like
size.
this? It's like this. So what's the smallest one you got? I'm trying to visualize the itty bittiness.
I think
Because we were
I
talking
think
about
the
hamster
closet
burritos.
would be the largest one, but
So
it's
how
still
big's
tiny.
like that?
Yeah.
I'm thinking if you're willing to take a plushie and just hug it, that constitutes tiny. If it's
Yeah.
unhuggable,
Oh.
then it's no longer tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Hugging
my
is the
measure.
I would
measurement metric.
definitely
Yeah,
hug
yeah.
these.
That's official in D&D rules.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an official ruling.
I'm satisfied.
Huggability.
Yeah. Sage Compendium ruling right there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we have any further questions?
I'm satisfied.
Are we prepared to make a ruling?
Yes, I think I am.
Do you want to discuss amongst yourselves? Take
Yeah,
individual
no, we should.
votes?
We should discuss.
I think we should
yeah.
discuss.
Go. I'll
yeah.
give
I think
you
we should
time.
discuss.
Yeah.
Right in
Okay.
front of these
So do
guys.
we-
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right there in front of
Are
them.
we- okay.
Here's the thing. I'm the voice of the gazer, so that's really kind of where I'm leaning. But I do love the pixie pants.
Pixie pants, matching combo.
That's pretty cool.
Three
And beautiful
quicklings there,
eyes they
right?
are.
Like
And those
there's-
are extra tiny.
They are well, they are, and they're so
so
fast.
fast.
Right. The quicklings to me are the heavy hitter in that
Yeah.
one because they can move fast. They don't provoke attacks of opportunity. They make like 3 attacks.
I'm gonna keep
Super
that one.
fun.
Crazy.
That's
Fey
how I get out of
creatures
here.
as well,
Yeah.
which means
Can I give you
they
an
can have great
imaginary
chance
silk one?
after this encounter when they
it gonna
destroy
get me
all
outta
the
here?
players.
Yeah.
They got the
Probably
flying
not.
snake.
Yeah.
Can wrap around the Baron's neck and just be like, good job.
Yeah.
And they're all
Oh,
equally
that's
sort of like as vulnerable to certain protective magics, right? Like so, like
Yeah.
normally I would think
I mean,
like, well,
I just-
fiends
these
protect
pictures
un-
are
protected
adorable.
from evil or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But that
Look
works
at the
against
pixie.
phages
Look
as
how
well. So it's not
cute
like
she
there's
is.
one of them is more or less vulnerable
No.
to player
Even
defense.
this guy.
They're both good
Like-
encounters.
Yeah, I
But I
think so
think
too.
for
I know,
fun
it's adorable.
level, I think the adorableness of the Fae, and I also lean to Fae. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they got
The Quasit pulling down
These
pants,
guys,
though,
these
is
hard
pretty
ghouls.
fun.
They look-
pulling down pounds is really fun.
And like I
That
said,
would hinder combat
gazers are
speed.
adorable
I-
because I
Are
am
they?
adorable.
Yeah, I think as a
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
from a player side, I can see the Fey encounter being super frustrating. If only because there's all of them can be like most of those can be invisible. The quicklings are hard to hit.
This is
and so
a
I can
touch
see
screen.
that
I
one
wish I
being
knew
like,
that.
I
It's
just
more
can't.
fair
I'm
than-
personally, I've been like
Yeah.
a 10th level character in a fight with
Look
a bunch
at
of
these.
sprites, and
Yeah,
it's been like, how do I
it's sprites and quicklings.
sprites and quicklings?
The little
and
like
that's
the
really
Jack
hard.
Frost
so
hair.
they've got dispel,
like
polymorph.
running
There's a
across
ton
the
of
water.
spell like abilities
Yeah.
that
So.
are there too.
I mean,
So I think it could be
I
more
know.
challenging
And it's for
encounter.
Yeah, so that's a 5th level, right?
Yeah,
So it might
It's
be
okay,
a little
it's okay.
too much.
almost. At the same time, a single fireball wipes out the entire room.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those weird
It's got
kind of things
3 of
where
them.
they don't have
This
a lot
is
of hit.
hard,
They don't have a
oh.
lot of hit points.
Too hard.
Yeah,
They're both really good in their own way.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, it really
and
seriously
they're
is.
so different.
Yeah. Do we have
But
to?
we have to
Do we
pick.
have to make a decision?
You have to make a choice actually
It's in our
right now.
title.
You have
Okay,
to tell me,
alright.
is it the fairy
Okay.
or the fae?
Okay.
Oh,
I
Or the
fairy
imps.
by a nose.
Fairies, imps, fairies, imps.
Fairies by a nose.
Gazers are cute because I'm the voice of the gazers, but I love the chaos of all the Fae little tiny creatures. So, what did we say we were going to say?
I think, as much as I love the invisibility Quasit going around pulling down pants, which is my own idea, I think I do love the Fae, the blue fairy dragon, the little pixies as well with their attire. That wins it over for me.
Yeah, to me it's the spell-like abilities of the pixie sprites and just the fact that quicklings are nasty
They're
for their
so
CR and
nasty.
everything. They are very tough.
And it's also really adorable.
It's adorable. Now that said, I don't. The fiends are going to be tough as well, but I think it's that.
I
combination
declare
of
the
Invincible-
Fable winner!
There we go.
Congratulations!
All right.
Can't see
Thank
it.
you,
Pressure
Your prize
over.
is to shout out one more time your social media handle and that incredible cause you
we
have
go.
started.
Perfect.
So much pressure.
So much
at
pressure.
the Fenway Teen DM is my Twitter handle, and Jasper's Game Day or jaspersgameday.com. You can go check out us on there, and it's for suicide prevention and awareness, and we're all across the U.S. So please check us out.
Do it.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us here.
Congratulations.
For,
Thank you.
Aw,
shaking hands with good
sportsmanship.
players.
I
That's what
like
we
that.
love to see.
Congratulations.
Canadian, this is thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to ask you, with so much love in my heart, to get the hell away from my table so my next two contestants can come
Encounter
up here.
over.
I like that
Should
we
I
can
hit
say
create
hell a
new?
lot.
Yeah.
Should I hit create new?
Sure.
Yeah.
Get the abyss off my
This
table.
is hard. I think this is harder for us
I
than
am
them.
so much more
You seemed
stressed
really
out.
broken
Yeah,
up.
this is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
rough.
I am.
It's
I
tough.
feel
Do you want to
I'm-
submit votes to me, like, secretly?
No.
No.
Good.
no.
Then own your votes. I don't want
Yeah,
that
I
responsibility
don't-
anyway.
yeah,
Take it.
yeah, yeah.
All right, we
tough.
are about to bring up two new competitors for our Encounter Builder Challenge. Those are words that I'm using. The Encounter
yeah,
Builder
that
Challenge. This is the Descent Arena, and we have Satine, we have WebDM, we have Trot out here as our judges, and we are bringing in two brand new contestants. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt Baum. I'm the co-creator of Queens of Adventure. It's a podcast and live show featuring drag queens playing Dungeons & Dragons.
Heck yes. Love to hear it. How about you?
I'm Danielle. I am not a streamer, not a podcaster. I'm just your everyday at-home DM. My Twitter handle is @Ravenette13, and I am so nervous right now.
You are doing
You're
important
fine.
work, though. DMing for friend groups.
Great.
Yes.
Bless.
Yes.
Thank you.
In
Thank
the
you for
trenches.
actually both the two, both of you, what you do. Thank you for it. Now, judges, we have another competition here. I'm going to tell you how it goes. I'm going to tell you guys how it goes. You have entered a battle arena. You are captives, and you are forced to fight for your lives against a party of only lawful good enemies.
That's tough.
You hate to do it, but I'm going to need you guys to build a hard encounter, not deadly, that consists only of lawful good enemies. That is your restriction,
Fifth level party.
and we're going to count you down to start in 5, 4, 3.
3, 2, 1. Begin.
This is a tough one.
Ooh, lawful good.
Yeah, this is a tough one because your first thought is like, oh, Celestials, right?
Yeah.
But those are all, most of them are like super high CR. You can't just throw them against a fifth level party.
Bunch of paladins.
Or you
Paladins,
can.
well, I mean, you could, right? Like, there's nothing stopping you from throwing a solar against them, other than disqualification in the contest.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yeah,
there's
obviously.
that whole thing.
that whole thing.
Lawful good is an interesting. If you're captive,
Yeah.
would it be because of them, or would it be
Ooh.
just a happenstance that they're there?
I mean, I could see them keep taking
Did
captives.
the players do something wrong?
They
yeah,
might
I mean,
have,
come
right.
on. Players aren't all lawful,
No.
and it's all gray from perspective anyway, right?
Right.
And it's beyond their control. They're fighting for their lives in what might be a battle arena guarded at all edges. This
Yeah.
is their only way out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
The
got to
prob-
do things you don't want to do to
Sometimes you
survive.
gotta do things. Yeah. I mean, it could be like maybe they were captured by something like the Harmonium or something, and I don't know. They've got a weird ritual for how to get out of there. But I'm trying to think of even
Yeah.
just lawful good. Sphinx. Sphinx is a lawful good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
honestly lost because I've never attempted that before. I have
Always
no idea
dark,
what characters.
evil, darkness, chaotic.
Yeah, I
right.
pretty.
Never
Yeah.
lawful
Yeah.
good.
I'm just trying to even think
Tough.
like there's some of the lycanthropes are lawful
Yeah.
good. Unicorns maybe chaotic good. I don't know. I mean, this is
An
we're
encounter with
stretching here.
unicorns.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes me sad.
I know.
Don't fight a unicorn.
Also, they will mess you up.
For
I mean,
one,
they're
though, right?
unicorns.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Almirage?
Oh, now we're seeing some
Here we go.
bronze dragon
Yeah,
show.
here we go.
Ah,
Loving
okay,
what I'm
that's
seeing so
cool.
far.
Interest. Dragons are a
There's-
good choice.
So
Yeah.
I think Almirages are good.
I believe so
Right.
too. Yeah, yeah.
There's our bunny.
There we go.
There's our bunny.
We'll get that bunny after
Yeah.
all. There we
And
go.
Bunny law, as you know, extensive and pretty clear.
Yeah, trial by
Confirmed.
combat, firm tradition in running log. Yeah, absolutely.
Where do Quasits stand in the whole lawful, chaotic side? Can they be whatever they
I mean, usually
aspire to be?
they're chaotic evil. I feel like that speaks to a type of personal energy that says no
Yeah.
limits. And the lawful good Quasit is probably within the realm of possibility. I mean,
And
you
you
know,
can't stop a lawful good Quasit going invisible and just lawfully good pulling down
pantsing
pants.
people all over
you
the
know,
place. Yeah, yeah.
It could happen. I
It
just
really
want
does.
an encounter with
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
in
I
there.
could say a reformed fiend who just is out
Yeah.
to play pranks.
Well, if
Yeah.
you have a bunch of evil,
Ah.
right? So there's like lesser of the evils will make the other ones just look, from your perspective, a lot more lawful and a lot
Absolutely.
more good.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
The
that
Quasit
works.
So
just is-
really, you have to give the players pre-made evil characters,
yeah,
or you could.
you could.
And then
yeah.
it's just chaos.
It's down
There
to
you
them.
go.
It's
Or
down
you
to
could just
them
make
to
their
down to them.
characters
Yeah.
be evil.
Yes.
Yeah, forced evil.
Forced
Maybe
evil.
it's all mind control lawful good people.
Ooh, that's a good moral quandary, though,
Ah,
right?
that's
Because then it's like, how do you
They
deal
are
with that
controlled.
Yeah.
they're captives as well? You know, that's the kind of scenario that's designed to make
Blackmail.
players guilty. you know.
Blackmail's always
Blackmail, yeah.
All of
And-
you seem pretty surprised by the requirements of this. Have any of you ever built an encounter that had any sort of good characters as a feature?
No. No. The players
yeah,
are
very,
the
very
heroes. They're supposed to be good.
As the DM for a long-running evil campaign, yes.
Oh.
I've had to have, celestial servants show up. Hey, you stop desecrating tombs. Please stop animating the corpses of our ancestors. That kind of thing.
Such a polite
Yeah,
request. And how do your players? What good character have your players had the hardest time confronting?
I would say it's probably the ones where it's not like about the stats. It's sort of like they need something from that character. They need they need them as an ally or a resource or something, and so they can't just brute force their way through. And those are the ones where it's like, it would be nice to just murder hobo your way through this thing, but you can't. So for instance, I had a player that wanted to kill Orcus, and I said, well, you're gonna need some angels for that, right? So she had to go and convince the angels that helping a vampire kill Orcus was a fine and good thing to do. And so that's how we did it, Yeah.
That is good. And I just want to let these guys know real quick.
You have 5 minutes left.
Oh my goodness.
See, that feels like a lawful good way of telling them the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a peacekeeper
energy.
shout, like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little
I feel like
thaumaturgy.
you
like
should
a-
be dungeon mastering.
Easily.
Boy, that's
yeah.
a beautiful compliment that no one else has ever paid me, and that I'm so sorry to correct you on, but I feel you have to be so well. You all tell me, do I have to be as organized as I think I have to? Oh
No, it's just fake
No?
it till you make it.
Yeah,
really?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You make it look so effortless, and I just thought that spoke to the depth of knowledge that you all
You get there.
represent.
You
I'm
get there
asking
eventually.
about
You get there,
colors, base colors, and if the Quasit will pants people. I think that's as far
Yeah.
as
I
my
took
knowledge
that as
goes.
just like a
Right.
really high-level quiz. You were
Yeah.
like, "There's 3 colors of fairy dragons. Let's see if they can figure this out."
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, that's how it played off.
Yeah.
You're slick there.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
much
you.
so.
Eventually you get there.
You will get there.
Yeah.
And also, you're never ready. You'll always be nervous before a session and everything.
Every
Every single time.
I have to fire breath to get out of my my
How do you fire
anxiety. It's like, sorry, audio.
Yeah.
Like a full
I
on.
feel empowered just watching that.
Yeah.
And now I have so much oxygen in my head.
And now you're just like ready.
I'm like,
That's more than a power stance. That's beyond a power stance.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, this
I
is
like that.
totally from my knowledge now, but what do you do when your players just throw you for an absolute loop? You're like, you're standing before the gods, the treasure's in front of you, and one's like, I want to go turn over that rock in the corner. You're like,
Yeah, it's
Um,
every day.
Yeah,
that's
all the
that's
time,
all
yeah.
it takes.
Very
I-
simple solution, for me at least, is I cry a lot and say, why would you do that to me? Like, why did I do something wrong?
Personal guilt is a
And
good
yeah, and
Are you
I-
attacking me?
I
Yeah.
thought we were friends,
Yeah.
and I made you all dinner, and you ruined my game.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
exactly how you shouldn't approach
Sure.
it.
I mean, you
should,
just have to get your skin as thin as it could possibly be, so
Yeah.
that you take everything personally.
You wear all
Absolutely.
the makeup,
Yeah.
and no one can see you sweat.
There,
Yeah, it's
that's
just
the trick.
the
That's all
soul
a
you're putting
farce.
out there for the
Absolutely.
players to futz about with.
Seriously, I use tables. This is where I use a random table, and sometimes I will straight up just go like, "Can you give me till next time to do that?" Or like if it's a weird request, like just give me a heads up before you choose something off the wall.
Yeah,
That's how I usually play it.
Yeah, it's really good if you know your environment. So when you overplan, or even if you don't overplan, you're imagining it with them. And a lot of times, I don't develop the room, and I kind of let the players tell me what's in it. And I'm like, okay, there's a rock. All right, well, now we're looking under the rock. I'll put something in there. I did a game where I designed the entire game 2 minutes ahead of all the players.
Whoa.
The entire building, because I only built one floor of it. So they're like, okay, we want to go down here. And they're like, oh, they want a room. I'll put a room there, a secret door. And they went into a basement and went up into this other.
Yeah.
And it was just like, just moving like that. And it was fun because they wanted things in that room so bad. I just gave it to them. But then that fed my imagination. I'm like, oh yeah, well if you're going to put that in there, now I'm going to put this in there.
Yeah.
So
That's
I like
and that
that.
does speak to an extensive knowledge of just what's available. And for people, you know what? Maybe I will DM because we have this incredible encounter builder tool now.
Right?
Makes it easy.
I can
Right.
kind of put my thoughts on the page a little easier.
Yes.
Until you're
exactly.
given a challenge to do lawful good against
And
the
we're like,
captain.
Which does remind me, you have 1 minute and 11 seconds. Faster.
Oh my goodness.
You could
see,
be
you're
a,
already
stressful.
there.
Yeah,
You're
right,
already
yeah.
there as a dungeon master.
Everyone at home has turned the audio off.
Well, with enough of that energy, you don't really need to plan anything. You can
Yeah.
just intimidate them.
exactly.
Oh, that's my main role.
There's
Yeah.
No rolls. You just have to survive the onslaught of shouting.
They'll be
that I'm
so
about to
scared
give
to
you.
make a decision that they
Yeah.
won't do anything.
Exactly.
That's a problem of decision paralysis. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you actually don't give the players that many choices because
No, you don't wanna
they
give
will
them-
actually sit there for hours like,
Yeah.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are my games, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, but do we want to turn over the rock? Well, what if
Yeah.
we lift the rock a little bit?
Yeah.
Like,
the rock jumps. You're
Yeah.
all screwed.
See, that's a DM thinking ahead.
that's a pro DM
On the
right
ball.
there.
There you go.
Well, we are
Straight
blessed
away.
to have you here, and
Thank you
especially
very much.
as our two competitors are wrapping up their second challenge of the day, their first challenge. For you guys at home interested, this is a challenge for a battle arena in which some characters have found themselves pitted by force against lawful good enemies. We're going to need enough lawful good enemies to give a pretty good challenge to a party of 5 adventurers, average level 5. And these are all parameters that you can put right into the D&D Beyond Encounter Builder. You can let it know how many party members you have, how much experience they have, and then use the sliding scale to fill out an encounter. So we are 3, 2, 1. Stop what you're doing!
It still feels lawful good. It still feels fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, it still feels like I need to pull over.
Yeah. For the right reasons. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have the laws. That makes me good. Well, who amongst you would like to go first?
I'll do it.
You.
Oh.
All right. So as they enter this battle arena, they find themselves faced with 3 horn callers, one in beautiful gold leather armor, one in
Liking that.
silver leather armor, and one in bronze leather armor.
my.
And they're all mounted upon a dragon wormling in the matching color.
Oh.
Oh my
So they
goodness.
must
Thank you
battle
for
against
winning this whole thing. Incredible.
We like dragons.
All right.
I like that.
Oh
I like that
man.
immediately.
So is it like we've got
Sparkles.
sparkles for one.
Oh yeah.
Is there what
Metallic's very
is there anything in the arena
Absolutely.
that the players can use to maybe gain an edge against all these flying, presumably spellcasting creatures, or is it like an open air kind of
I
thing?
imagine it would be quite in the style of like the open air arenas where you've got to be nimble and quick on your feet and possibly have a really good shield.
Yes,
Wow.
I'll say so. Is there kind of a strategy of coordination between the 3 horn callers and the dragons? You have kind of like a way to, I don't know, any combos that the players might be
question.
surprised by?
It's possible. It's possible. Being different colors, obviously not a lot of the attacks will sync up a lot, but they're a formed team. They know what they're tasked with doing. So
That's a lot of dragons.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not as familiar with the horned collar. Have you
Yeah, what does that
used it
look like?
before, or
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about horn collars?
Yeah.
yeah, sure. So horn collars. I'm gonna click the handy dandy link and pull it up so everybody can see it.
Oh yeah.
So they have innate spell casting, and they can speak with beasts. They do have a multi-attack, and of course, you know, they. I personally love the one with the World Soul because they could choose a beast within 30 feet of it. So any kind of ranger or anything like that might be in a little bit of danger with that.
Oh, this is
like that.
fun.
I love turning the party's companions against them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Very
Cool.
interesting.
Have you got any story behind as to why they're even there in the first place? And this captive, the players are having to fight them.
Yeah.
I do not have a backstory for that, but you never know. It could be an entirely evil party that got caught by the forces of good. It could be they just messed with the wrong person and broke the wrong law and are being punished for it.
Okay.
See that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard enough.
Yeah.
I'm just stuck back in the beginning of all the metallic fanciness. So
Yeah.
can
Matching
move on.
colors. It works.
Strong theme.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for describing your encounter. Now, please, I invite you to do the same.
Okay. Well, as the players enter the arena, a single spotlight shines down on them, blinding them, and then they see behind it is a woman in a elegant robe made of feathers, and she says, "You have been summoned here in accordance with our ancient laws to determine who is the fiercest fighting group in the realm." And then the lights all shine down on the players, and they can see all around them are 7 singing flumphs.
Oof.
I'm okay. Yes.
They're
I have
singing
to
in a
applaud that.
chorus all around the players as they advance. And so the figure up who's watching this entire thing is slowly petting a dog that is revealed eventually to be a blink dog, if it comes to that. There's also a 3 horn callers all around who can command the performance and order the flumphs to sing different songs to invite the players to join them or to fight against them, because as I DM for drag queens a lot, I want to give them some performance opportunities. There is a there's also a frontline medic to assist people, the flumphs or the horn callers as needed, and then when things are looking dire for the enemies, the figure in feathers reveals herself to be a mighty were-raven queen.
Wow.
Where
Very
Raven Queen, so the
interesting.
lycanthrope
Oh.
is playing in.
What
There
an
we go.
image.
There we go. Yeah.
yeah, that's a musical.
Yeah.
I like. That's
Yeah, I'll give inspiration for like if they can sing their entire attack.
That's incredible.
Oh.
Please tell me the flumps have accessories.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great idea. Each one, I'm going to say, is made up to look like a different historical bard. So there is like an ancient, in like just a flumph in a toga. There's a flumph who's maybe a little bit more recent, who's wearing sort of like Renaissance garb. There's one in something that's very experimental and like new wave with like sort of a mohawk and like a shave and like a sweep down over the face.
Little glitter
So
star.
like yes, all different like eras of song.
Would you actually be able to pull up a flump
Yeah,
for me
that's
too, so we
what
can get a
I'm saying.
visual on the
A
stream?
flump,
For
honestly,
They're so
one of the best
cute.
creatures
So
in
cute.
the monster
So
manual.
cute.
I cannot resist.
Look at the flump. It's
so
incredible.
adorable.
As many flumps as possible.
Look at the little guy.
Picture him in a toga.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that sounded like a lot of creatures. Like, how many total creatures did you end up with?
It's a lot. Yeah. Well, so I'm kind of getting away with a lot because the flumps are like CR 1/8.
Yeah.
So let's see, that's 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Wow.
14 creatures in there, but they're all fairly low CR, with a mix of range and melee, and also a little bit of healing. So everyone can it's up to the players to be like, who do we go for first?
Right.
I like this because it might not be that you're fighting your way out. Like you could play your way out.
Yeah.
Like I like the possibilities of multiple endings through that. It's very good. You've got your like different pillars of adventure that you can satisfy through all of that.
Yeah.
I would probably insert like little I don't know, treasure chests or like things around the arena. They could be like, oh, it's a box full of wigs, and we're gonna use that somehow.
That's fantastic. I love that. love
We got
that.
song, we got wigs
Yeah.
and costumes and chorus lines.
Yeah. Theatrical
Well,
combat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Judges, I'm going to have to ask
This
you
is
to
a tough one.
deliberate
Yeah,
now.
this
is-
Yeah,
this
is
let
a
me know
tough
your
one.
call.
All right.
Okay, we'll deliberate.
okay.
Okay.
Now, I really like the pairings of gold, silver, and bronze.
Sure.
That just, to me, visually, is a very
like your color
nice thing,
coordination.
very creative.
Yeah.
But I do like the choreography, the thorough detail.
There's a lot of
They're kinda
detail, and I
unique
think
detail.
that kind of
Africa.
like that storytelling element in this atmosphere and like this create your adventure really fast
Yeah.
atmosphere. I think that's so
Yeah, so I like
powerful.
the,
Like
the
that's
speak
good. That's a
with
winner
Visa
for
they
me.
gave
Yeah.
us.
I think so too. I
Tell
really like the
everybody what to
creativity because
do.
it does give you multiple, like I say, multiple options in and out.
And
My
then, yeah,
concern
the-
with
the
that would
words
be
won't
like
so
from a
thing.
pure combat perspective, is like a lot of little
Description is
creatures
what
would
really
be
sold
vulnerable
me.
to
Like,
fairly
tend to be animals
low-powered
associated with the
AOE,
enclaves
and so
parts.
if they did want to brute force their way through and not explore their creative options, it might not be as challenging. But
But then you have the
Tell
emotional
creatures,
thing,
there's
right? If
emotional
you have
ones that
like,
can
if
manipulate
you
people.
if you
this is
destroy
epic
a
with all
bunch of
the,
adorable
the
creatures all at once, the
dragons
screaming
like,
Oh, yeah.
and like
Horncrawlers
the
in there,
yeah.
guilt,
like,
like that's got to affect you.
yes,
you know.
I definitely could see that. So I think there's a lot of like the consequences of that fight would definitely play
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's
I'm having,
cool.
but I
It's
just think like
dynamic.
This tool,
3
oh my God.
dragons and
It's
3
so
riders
easy.
is just pretty brute force.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a
This
tough,
is
tough
a
one to
Yeah.
overcome, I
for,
think.
like people who
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
first
I-
time.
So as
doing
just
something
for
like out of
the
a book
judging part of
or out of
this,
the
I
book,
do love
like
the
branching out
thoroughness
of
and
their
the
own
thoughtfulness
this is gonna
of
be-
the chorus line.
I love
Like
this
that's
thing
where I'm
here 'cause you
going.
can just,
Yeah.
Whereas like
I accidentally
they're
put in
both
too many
cool
flumps.
encounters. Obviously,
So-
I like all the jewels and all the metallics, but
and then now
his-
it's deadly.
the intricacies and the possible outcomes of his are just
He
really
was
powerful.
also willing to throw in new things, and then came up with the treasure chest
It's
thing right at the
fabulous.
end there
Yeah.
with the
That was
wigs.
good.
Sounds like we have a winner.
We
I think we have a
and we
winner.
do.
Contestants, are you prepared to face the judgment of our judge panel? Judges.
Chorus line is the winner.
Beautifully done, both of you. Thank you so much for your creativity. Please, I want to give you an opportunity as your victory prize to shout out your calls once again.
Yeah, so I do Queens of Adventure. It's a live show and podcast featuring drag queens playing Dungeons & Dragons. You can find it at Dungeon Drag on Twitter and queensofadventure.com to listen and subscribe. And there's bonus content for patrons.
Ah,
Beautiful.
Queens of Adventure.
Congratulations.
Dun, dun, dun.
Get off my table!
Yay,
Thank you,
bravo,
thank you.
bravissimo.
Great encounters.
Also, love the gold. The metallic dragons were awesome.
They were
Somebody
great.
make fan art and like tweet that at us. I know you're all beautifully creative out there. I want to see those metallic
Of
dragons.
all of them
Yes.
so far. All of them.
From all kinds of
This
fan
is
art.
great.
This is.
I'm really having so much fun listening to everyone's fun ideas. They're so different,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I really like what everyone is coming up with, and honestly, I feel like you've an access to a bestiary here that is
Yes.
easier than ever.
Yeah.
I use D&D Beyond multiple times a day, every single day.
Every
I
day.
am not exaggerating.
No,
I
it's
am.
completely changed how I play 5th edition.
Oh yeah, I used to be all analog, and now I use a computer. I actually bought a new computer so I can travel and play and Dungeon Master.
There you go. There
Makes
you
it so much easier. All the math,
Yeah.
all that stuff, calculating your AC.
The
and
hovering,
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
hovering.
The hovering of
hovering.
spells. Yeah.
yeah,
Very
it's
much.
good.
Fantastic.
Very much.
Contestants, welcome to the table. It's lovely to have you here. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yep, I am Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter, and I'm part of the Twitch team at Tales from the Grim.
Tales
Cool.
of the
I
Grim.
love your horns. I love
Look at
your
this
pins.
jacket.
I love it
Yeah,
all.
you're fabulous.
Fantastic.
Like the
And
gold.
this is a dream. Thank y'all for doing this.
Hey, this is our dream. Thank you for joining us. Please, sir, your name, your place, your
I'm
Twitter.
Greg. I'm at White Wing on Twitter, and I'm part of a podcast called Very Random Encounters, where we play RPGs where we randomize everything: characters,
Oh.
villains,
Oh,
plots,
he's doing
everything,
Okay.
and
You
then
have
run
an
with it.
advantage here.
Nice.
Salty Ginger, you're gonna have to bring it,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
Greg,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to bring it.
I brought it.
You okay?
Yeah,
You ready?
Yeah.
Let me read the rules of your encounter. It's on this side of the paper. You have a player that has recently developed telepathy, and you want to spook the crap out of them. Build a hard encounter with monsters who have both telepathy as a language and are proficient in stealth.
Wow.
Don't touch your computers!
How do you begin with that?
I can't even think of off the top of my head.
But you
what
have
monster
to
that
because
would
it's
be.
telepathy.
It would be great
But
if
you
I
have
had
to
D&D
think it.
Beyond in my hands. It'd be
would
very
be.
easy.
It
So
would.
easy.
I wish I had D&D Beyond right
Sorry,
now.
Sorry, we thought you'd already
You
gone.
never want to yell at the judges.
I know it's all
But I
right.
swear! Let's start
That
the
felt.
encounter.
I felt something
That
there.
felt real. That
In
felt
three.
real.
2.
2, 1, go!
Off they go. Straight telepathy.
Sorry to
All right.
interrupt you guys.
That's fine. Our bad.
Thank
our
you
bad.
so
That's
much.
fine.
Cheers, no problem.
Yeah. So like, most of the
My
fiends
player.
have telepathy, right?
My player.
You mind flayer?
No.
What
Ooh,
else?
what other creatures that don't have mouths? Those
Intellect
little like
devourer?
intellect devourers,
Okay,
and then
right?
the carrion crawlers. They have telepathy. No,
don't think
yeah, no.
so.
I wish I had D&D Beyond right now.
Yeah.
Worms, purple worms. Do they have telepathy? No.
Purple. I mean, I feel like they all should.
I'm also wrong because I don't have D&D Beyond. I am now completely
Lashunta Rogue?
useless.
We're just gonna
I'm
start
useless
making
without
up
it.
monsters. Yeah. There's that one that has the
I
thing.
feel like think of the ones that don't have mouths. Right? Like
But
that's
Technically,
must
all
scream.
monsters could not have mouths if you make it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're
It's
an
up to
evil
you.
wizard.
Yeah.
You could not have
Could have
mouths.
stitched their mouths together,
Mhm.
so
They
they're
could've stitched their
forced
mouths
to
up.
use telepathy.
Sure. Sure.
You can't develop telepathy.
Yeah, you
without
can.
this.
Look, watch.
D&D.
I'm gonna make this
That's
bottle
true. No,
move.
you're right. You're right. You
Probably
could. You could.
Well, at the very least, you could take a level
Eventually.
at Great Old One Warlock. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Anyway.
you think there are
I'm
more
wrong.
creatures
There
that
you
have
go.
stealth or have telepathy?
Stealth.
Stealth.
Way more stealth
I think-
creatures?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
think
reckon?
so. Yeah, I think so. Probably. It's one of those where I add it to so many.
Yeah.
It's a trait that can be learnt as well, rather than
Right.
you're just
Ah.
innately having telepathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, like, I can't. Like, I'm serious. I would have really struggle with like which ones. Maybe some of the drow have telepathy is just an ability. I don't know. Let's see what
this
we
is
got
a great
here.
comparison of
What do we got?
the guys that using their own
Ooh.
knowledge to come up with something versus the guys that can just search using
Exactly.
filters, that kind of
For
thing.
one, they're
Telepathy.
already a step
Advantage.
ahead of
There's
us.
no way I'm accessing that knowledge in my head.
Boom.
I'm
There's
kind of
no,
looking
I
forward
can't.
to the blank slate and seeing what
Yeah.
comes out of
I
us.
really
Yeah. I
am.
want to be surprised.
Yeah.
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 I like being surprised. What's one of the
We're
things
like
about
old timer gamers. You
Yeah.
want to be surprised.
Exactly. And I like about seeing how other people build encounters is because like you get to see how other people run their game, what they think about, and
Yeah,
like
different
that
approaches.
exposure to different approaches
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going to
yeah.
help
Yeah.
you in your own games. So
That's why I like
appreciate
live
it.
streaming.
Exactly.
Because I learn from all the other game masters and all the other players.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Or that even sometimes chat members who have an idea,
Oh,
who have a good
yeah.
idea. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
just going to low key take that.
Yeah.
I'm stealing all of these guys' ideas, by the way.
Absolutely, absolutely, all.
They're
of them.
all mine now.
Yep.
Taking
Really good. So gosh, I don't know.
Chorus
I mean,
line
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Probably
What
same
has
thing.
been the biggest impact that stealth has had on any one of your campaigns? Has anyone big bad gotten up way too close?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I did an Eberron encounter where my players had to infiltrate this hidden city in the mountains, and they used Pass Without Trace, which gives them a +10 to their stealth, and they just walked by. I mean, there
Really?
should be a thing where, like, okay, if there's a bunch of people around, you don't. But if you're stealthy, that stealth, you have patience. In my head, you're very patient. So if somebody turns, then you slip in.
Yeah.
If somebody blinks, you just slip in. So that was probably the coolest one. I think
So
it was Pass Without Trace and invisibility on a couple of them.
Interesting.
So there was they had I like it when my players work together and use their spells to protect each other. And so I'll give them like inspiration, or I'll give them a boon, and that was pretty cool.
And they walked right past the biggest bad?
They walked past a bunch of guards.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like through the front door.
Work on your stealth, kids.
Yeah, work on that stealth game.
Have
I
a-
like creating a monster that has like an insane stealth, just because they're like if you're dealing with say a rogue or a bard that's invested in expertise and perception and others, you're gonna have to beef up your monsters, and so there's sometimes where I'll give them say an amulet of proof against detection and location, so they can't just be spotted with
Nice.
locate creature, and then like an insane stealth score, and watch the players just get like, I know they're invisible, where are they? And it's
Yeah.
like, nope, just a good die roll, and that's all it is. And
Yeah.
I tried to assassinate a character once. I almost said player, but I don't like actually
No,
kill people.
we gotta make sure
Definitely
we
character.
say that.
And it was like their clone twin who was out to get them, and it's like there can't be two of us, and I'm gonna try to assassinate you. And then the players had to like try to find the assassin in the house, and she was long gone. Like she had an insane stealth. So I like that, frustrating them and making them think it's magic when it's really just they're Batman.
The
know?
fast. Gotta
Yeah.
go fast.
But it's really fun with when the players realize that the bad guys are thinking.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then there's actual cause and effect.
Yeah.
Consequences.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Those are the moments. Those are moments where it all comes together.
Yeah.
And those are the moments that always trip me up as a player.
Yeah.
Because all my encounters with stealth are me just messing up stealth and just trying to do the thing, like pass without a trace, sneak by. Oh, no, wait. No, I just appear right in front of them and they kill me straight away.
Yeah,
always
all
happens.
of your prep just can't overcome that one. No.
Do you have a low roll gravity well in front of you at all
I
times?
think I might. I think it might actually happen. Yeah, that was someone's got magnets and I've got metal dies.
5 minutes!
You got
Just
this.
they don't see it coming. They don't see it coming.
Yeah, I know. They don't see it coming.
I think they work twice as hard in that part.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
from 5
It's
minutes
the
down.
stress.
It's the
It's
gift of
stress.
inspiration.
It's science.
Yeah.
Bardic
Yeah.
even. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, you don't have to worry about telepathy as anyone's shouting.
That's
It's
for
going to be a
one.
very quiet encounter.
Right, yeah.
With stealth and telepathy, they have to worry about sound.
They do have to worry about sound. Maybe it's like there's a, if I was a telepathic creature, I would use the spell silence all the time, just to like shut down spell casting.
All the
and then you
That
can
is
taunt
cool.
them.
That's
just to like
really
taunt
cool.
them, and
Yeah.
being like, I
Don't
got
give
you
them
this
all the
time.
ideas.
Oh, okay, my bad.
need a
my bad.
scream.
All right, yeah, we do. We need a silence spell.
We do.
Yeah,
Wow, wow, wow.
That's interesting.
yeah.
We can say anything now. We're in the bubble.
Yeah,
In the
we're
bubble,
good.
right? They can do
What
it.
if the entire encounter was cast in darkness as well, and all the
I
telepathy?
hate darkness.
Yeah, it does
Darkness
suck.
sucks.
Darkness
Yeah,
is
how
one.
can you make that cool though?
Wait,
and
but
fun?
isn't there
You
one?
attack the darkness.
There is
Yeah,
one.
fight it, stab it.
Attack the darkness.
Going old school, sorry.
Yeah. Well, they have it's Warlock, right? Where you can cast darkness, but you
Yeah.
can see through it.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally see one of those. Yeah.
Because that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of our characters have dark vision, I find. So
True,
is
a lot
it
of elves.
is
yeah.
it like a magic darkness?
Yeah,
Yes, if
it's a
you cast-
darkness that's impenetrable.
Yeah, if you cast darkness, you can't see if you're one of those
It
characters.
trumps
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
unless you have magic to dismiss it.
Yeah, unless there's like daylight spells that give us, but it's also like you can use it by breaking line of sight. You can do a bunch of fun stuff with the way spell casting works, and if you use it as a villain, it's really cool because you just like cast it on the party. Now they can't see. You can taunt them, and it makes them think about other things. Like I had a group, they were infiltrating a mind flayer lair, and they became obsessed with covering their scent. The players were just the players were like, I swear, we got him. We can't be seen. We can't be heard. They're gonna smell us. And it's just
I love
kinda
how that just
one of those
snowballs.
and they just thought of it themselves. I didn't say
You're just
anything.
like constantly like
Yeah.
prestidigitation.
Don't you dare.
So they became obsessed with like getting their scent right and making sure they could move around this place without getting caught. And so I think
That's awesome.
You got a lot of senses. Yeah, and that was all them. Like I was like, you guys are worried about it? All right, now I am
Thank
too.
you.
Let's make it
Thank you very much.
Make it a huge problem.
You are so stinky
Right.
that the goblins
Now
start
that, now that you mention it, when was the last time you bathed? That kind of
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. They give you what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lesson
feed
learned,
off
players,
that.
don't ever say anything at the table. The more
Say
quiet that you
everything.
are, the better the game will be.
I love it when a player also just reminds you of a rule that you totally forgot. It's like, shouldn't
2
we have
minutes!
done
Yeah.
that roll. It's like, oh yeah, you should have run that roll. That
Yeah,
could
should've.
potentially
Oh,
kill you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've literally told players, I'm like, I'm giving this to you. Why
Yeah.
are you saying that?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
this
You're
is like a
impeding.
fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they want that rule. So all right, let them have it.
And you're dead.
So what's the most like last minute you've inserted a creature into the campaign to respond to one of your players?
Man, I mean,
all
just like as a snap decision, I the thing for me with that is like, you got to be ready to take whatever you introduce and the consequences of it. Because there have been times when you're like, it's this thing, and then you're like, oh crap, no, I don't want that yet. But if you're gonna just introduce something, then being prepared to go like, yep, this exists now, and we're gonna take it seriously, is like a real important part of, to me, like improv style play. Because if you don't, then it's just nonsense. If it doesn't have consequences, then it's like you might as well just be, I don't know, doing something else. I don't know. My brain's about to run out of my ears, by the way. So
You're doing great.
thank you very much.
My going back to the Strahd Twigblight scenario, that was because I just randomly put, ooh.
Yeah.
That was that darkness we were
Hey,
talking
there we
about.
go.
You're
Let's
welcome.
See?
get
How do you
it
deal with it
on.
now, players?
And again, right? I
Let's
have
get it
dark
on.
vision. Can't
Uh-huh.
see.
Can't see it all.
Can't see. I don't have dark. As a human, I don't have dark vision.
We're still alive. They've got light.
They've got light.
They've
Look at
got
them
light.
Gosh
powering.
darn it, we cast darkness.
We did.
We could light ourselves.
Yeah, what is this? Esports? I got this.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Da-ga-da, da-ga-da,
All right.
da-ga-da, da-ga-da.
All right. We've got
I actually did a
Can do
Starfinder
uplighting.
stream in this lighting.
Ooh, it
Yeah.
kind of works.
Yes, I
This
actually
is
don't
a
have my
very
phone
this
with
is
me.
very
Now-
appropriate.
We're
This is
thrown into an
appropriate.
encounter ourselves.
We are. First off, this is an encounter easily.
I wish I had telepathy.
We're having to
deal
use
with
our
this.
skills and resources to overcome a challenge.
Yeah.
And
And we're panicking.
There's
Like
a
a players would.
We're all
There's a lot of
panicking.
fear.
Uh huh.
So you're not going to make logical decisions.
There we go. I love that.
And
You know
we
what?
look amazing now.
And
Look
This
at us.
nearly
Yeah.
distracted me, but
Your time is up!
Oh
It's
no.
over.
what are you scrolling for?
I got
What are you
the
scrolling
second.
for?
Mine's stuck.
Wrap
I'm
it
stuck.
up.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Once
We're
we
going to
figure
get
out it-
surprised.
And
Yeah.
we got the mood lighting going.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
so
Mood lighting.
Mood
sexy.
lighting.
Have some
Lighting.
candlelit.
All
This is
right.
live internet, folks.
Recorded. Fix the post.
Greg, Salty Ginger, Greg. I choose Greg to go first.
Greg.
All right. Part of mine disappeared.
Oh, I choose Salty Ginger to go
Great.
first.
All right. Well, the first thing my players always want to know is can they smooch
Oh,
this enemy?
sure.
It's what I always want to know. Thank you.
Certainly.
So what I have come up with is an encounter, say, if Avernus has a marketplace and the PCs have been here a while, they've made friends with two charming looking individuals who are twins. We'll call them
Nice.
Greg and Kiana, because those are my best friends. All right.
Very nice.
So Greg and Kiana are twins, and they seem just like tieflings, but of course they are shape changers, an incubus and a succubus,
Nice.
Oh.
twinsies. All
There
right.
you go.
I like this.
Oh,
We're back.
great. Hello.
Let that be. Oh, you're
How long
welcome.
does darkness last? A minute?
They are
And-
twins.
That was perfect.
Yes.
They are
Oh,
shape
perfect.
changers.
Yes. And they even have a little
Somebody-
pet, Meanlock, who can telepathically torment an incapacitated creature.
Yes.
The incubus and the succubus can also speak telepathically, and they're very sneaky. So these
don't know
two,
what it did.
Greg and
And
Kiana,
it's
have
not
set their
adding that.
sights on the PCs and have been tormenting them telepathically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
like
it.
that.
That's a good
You
taunt.
like
Just
it.
That's representative of telepathic torment.
Yep. And they've been doing this for a while until the PCs wise up, right? So they have their little pet going at night to torment them. And of course, the party thinks that Greg and Kiana are their friends. They are not, though. And when they discover this, they will have, they will be duking it out in the streets of Avernus.
Nice.
Very thematic.
Plus smooches.
Plus,
Plus
You
smooches.
get it.
I get it.
there you go. There you go. So the question I have, when you think about like stealth characters and things, like, do they have a goal? Like, what's their aim here with the party that they're trying to accomplish?
Well, succubi and incubi probably being one of the lower level denizens of this area, I think are looking to come up in the world, right? And these adventurers, who I'm going to assume are here for good,
Sure.
like good reasons, I hope.
You're the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I am. I think that they are interested in souls. Why not? They're one of my favorite things, though, is, I mean, this is why I did it. The draining kiss thing.
Oh,
Oh.
They're all can be ethereal as well. So I think what they want are pets. I think they want pets. Like the Meatlock's great, you know, imported from the Feywild. But some tasty adventurers, I think that would up their status.
Little snack.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like
like
the
that.
social
I like
aspect.
this.
Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely
Yeah.
like social.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The
Awesome.
deception as well.
Yeah.
Luring
Yeah,
them into a
lots of-
false sense of security, and then smooching, and then drain kiss. I like it.
It's twisted.
Goodness.
Thank
All right.
you.
And the tormenting telepathy at the same time.
Mm.
I like that too.
Get them primed.
Yeah.
Right. Greg, how's your encounter doing?
So stop me if you've heard this before. I also have people who like to kiss. However, I have more gay people who like to kiss. So instead, I have two incubus and a mean lock.
That's
They're,
amazing.
they're frighteningly the
Wow.
same. So
Two guys on the same wavelength.
we're on the same wavelength. We like people who smooch.
Smooches.
Smooches are good. Although I envision mine a little bit different. Mine is much more in Baldur's Gate, as the adventurers are going to find places to relax. They go to a seemingly safe tavern, the Lonely Boy Tavern, and they decide to go in to partake in a big party, spend their treasure, all the while the bartenders are keeping an eye on them, making sure that they get lots of drink. And then as the party goes on and the lights dim, the guests all leave except for the party, and it's left to the two bartenders and their little pet who's scuttling around under things, whispering in their ear, getting them to drink more, making them think that they're just drunk and hearing things, and then slowly they'll start to notice that they are alone in this bar. The lights are dim. And now they're just seeing the shadows moving around and hearing whispers and fragments of conversation until they swoop in to Smooch in the back booth and take their life.
That's what they want.
Right.
Yeah. I
Souls.
actually feel pretty good about my decision. I would love to share it with you guys.
Please do.
Yeah.
You heard everything you want to
Do we
hear.
have any questions for Greg? Any questions for Greg?
I think you very succinctly described your encounter, to be honest. I think I got everything.
Yeah, I think I'm good too. Do we want to talk about it?
Deliberation?
Let's talk about it.
You want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
All right. What
I
are
think
your
it's straight up
thoughts? What are your
tie.
thoughts?
Straight up tie.
Yeah, I mean, it really is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, not just because
That
of
was
the
surprising and kind of magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's one of the, I think I'm comfortable saying that. I really like. Yeah. There we go.
That's terrifying.
That's awesome.
Blind get pulled out.
To me, like the first one has a bit more like a long con to it, so you could have like a you could play.
role
Could
play.
play
Be
out,
patient!
Yeah, could play
I
out
was
over
about to try and
several.
scare you.
That's sweet.
They were going
Try to play out over several sessions.
Yeah.
But then like the interactive element of sort of like
so good.
we're
I love
caught in
it.
a trap and don't know it is also there in the second one as well.
Straight from my
right?
heart.
So
Yeah, it's
It's-
just like
yeah.
two different shades of the same.
yeah,
I mean, how rare is
like that.
that? They
Yeah.
both
Number one,
pick
yeah.
pretty much
yeah.
similar.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should double Dungeon Master.
For one, it'd be terrifying.
May
you know?
eventually out for me is what we didn't ask, which was what type of kiss it was going to be, because that changes the whole game,
Oh,
Is
I
it
see
French
full tongue.
kissing?
Full
Yeah.
tongue.
Full tongue.
Full tongue
Yeah.
kiss.
I think they're both imaginary.
They're both.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the tongue that makes
Yeah.
it a draining kiss.
Absolutely.
Judges, have you reached a conclusion?
I think we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah,
I think we all
have,
felt the
yeah.
same
We're
way,
gonna
much
put our
like
foot-
they
our
felt the
foots
same
down.
way.
Yeah.
Putting our foots down. Both foots.
Go on, Web
yeah,
TM.
yeah, so I mean, both encounters have, but despite the similarities in the monsters, that you both have created an encounter that has the potential for social outcomes, for combat, for tricking the party and sort of like drawing them into a trap. Succubi and Incubi are great enemies because they can go ethereal, and they have those great special powers. And Meanlock's just a mean, nasty creature.
It's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going to say that we are unanimous in calling this a tie
a
because
tie.
we feel like you both met all of the requirements of our rubric.
In the same way.
In the
And-
s- yeah.
Good job.
And we all decided that you guys should double Dungeon Master.
Right, and scare the crap out of the players.
I don't know that the world's ready for that, but we'll talk about it.
The world's not ready.
Make them ready.
Congrats to you both. I want to give you the opportunity. Ginger, start us off where we
Yeah.
can find you and what you're doing.
That's Salty Ginger over on Twitter. And if you want to see me roleplay and GM, please come check out twitch.tv/Tales from the Grim.
And I'm White Wing on Twitter, and you can hear my podcast, Very Random Encounters, anywhere you pick up podcasts.
Congratulations, both of you, on your
Well done.
victory. Thank
Well
you for
done.
coming to play. Satine, WebDM, Trot, you have done fantastic in
We
your
have
judged.
There we
Fairly,
go.
I want to say.
Yeah, pretty fair. Pretty
Uh,
fair.
anything you want to say to the people?
Thank you. Use D&D Beyond's Encounter Builder if you're a subscriber. It's perfect. I want to use it right now.
Absolutely.
I felt like I
Yeah.
was lost
I
without
know.
it.
I'm like, oh, good to get my
Yeah.
fix.
Easily lost, easily lost
I've got the
without
itch.
Yeah.
D&D Beyond.
Everyone else is using it. I don't.
Yeah, they get to use it. Why don't we?
Well, thank you so much for coming here, for
Thank you.
passing judgment
Had a
on
great
our
time.
creators. We have one more live segment on this table. We'll be right back after this quick break.
So with Baldur's Gate,
Yay!
we descend into a
Yay! You guys are so fun.
Thank
Thank you. It was really fun.
Zariel fits in